Picture this: you are parked at a beach. The rear doors swing open to 90 degrees. The front seats spin around. A table slides out. A fridge keeps your drinks cold. A 21-inch screen plays a film for the kids. A 25-speaker sound system fills the cabin like a concert hall. And when it is time to leave, you drive 1,705 kilometers without stopping for fuel or a charger. That is not a concept car. That is not a millionaire's toy. That is a real, production-ready family SUV built by a company that was making phones and rice cookers 3 years ago. This is the Xiaomi SkyNomad N90 Max, and it has just done something that Mercedes, BMW, Porsche and Range Rover, with all their decades, all their billions, all their heritage, have never managed to do. It has built a car that is also a house, and it did it from a standing start, on a brand new platform, in 3.5 years. The established giants take longer than that to update a bumper. So if you are watching from Europe, from America, from Australia, pay attention. Because this is the car that should make the entire Western car industry very, very uncomfortable. Every big SUV on the market today has the same problem. The floor is broken up by steps and humps. The cabin is chopped into 3 cramped rooms. The seats barely slide, and the moment all 7 are occupied, nobody is comfortable, and the boot is useless. Xiaomi looked at all of that and asked one question that nobody else had bothered to ask. What if the floor were completely flat? Not almost flat, not flat enough. Completely, dead flat, from the steering wheel to the boot, tilted at less than 3 degrees. And that is what they built. They shrank the rear motor housing by 145 millimeters. They redesigned the battery pack and cut another 180. They squeezed a 60-liter fuel tank into a space that should not have fitted it. The result is 4.5 square meters of open, level, usable cabin. More like a studio apartment than a car. 6 rails run nearly 2 meters along the floor, and every seat glides along them. The center aisle is wide enough that you walk straight through to the 3rd row without disturbing a single seat. A passenger 1.90 meters tall sits in the back with room to spare. Even with all 7 seats occupied, there is still a 570-liter boot. Fold the seats, and that opens past 1,800 liters. This is the 7-seater every European brand has been promising for decades, and none of them has ever delivered. Here is where the SkyNomad stops being impressive and starts being something else entirely. Because that flat floor and those powered rails mean this car does not have one cabin layout. It has dozens. Spin the front seats around, and you are sitting face to face with your family, nearly 1.80 meters apart, nobody touching knees. Slide the console to the back, and it becomes a drinks table. Fold out the full-size table and 4 people can sit around it with coffee, cards, or a laptop. Drop the 3rd row flat, slide the 2nd forward, lay a mattress down, and you have a double bed with a privacy curtain. Mount the rail desk and the back seat becomes a private office. Open the rear doors at the beach and the sea breeze rolls through while you sip your coffee. Fold the 2nd and 3rd rows into cinema mode, and the 21-inch 3K screen does the rest. There is even room for a golden retriever to stretch out across the 2nd row, instead of being locked in the boot. And the transformation is not a wrestling match. Say the word, and every seat, every console shifts under electric power. 52 seconds to go from family hauler to living room, bedroom, office, or cinema. 18 layouts already programmed. You will invent more. Now here is the part that makes it all click. Xiaomi already builds televisions, fridges, air conditioners, and washing machines for a living. So the fridge in this car has a real compressor, cold enough for 10 cans, sipping so little power it barely touches the battery overnight. The massage seats have 16 pressure points. The sound system has titanium tweeters and took 3 years to tune. None of these are afterthoughts bolted on to impress a reviewer. They are built in by a company that has been making home appliances for over a decade. Plug a coffee machine into the 220-volt socket. and your car park becomes your kitchen. This is what happens when the people who built your living room decide to put wheels under it. Now the number that rewrites the rules. 1,705 kilometers on one charge and one tank. That is London to Rome without touching a charger or a petrol station. Here is how. The SkyNomad carries a 76 kilowatt-hour battery that powers the wheels every single day. Over 460 kilometers of pure electric range, enough for most people's entire week on a single charge. But there is also a small 1.5-liter petrol engine sitting quietly on board. It never drives the wheels. Its only job is to top up the battery when the charge runs low. So every day you live like an EV owner, silent, smooth, cheap, but the moment you need to cross a country, the fuel tank has your back. No planning routes around chargers. No praying you make it to the next service station. Just get in and drive. When the battery is flat, it sips just over 6 liters per 100 kilometers on the cheapest ordinary fuel. 15 minutes of charging adds nearly 300 kilometers. For a family in rural Australia, in northern Canada, in the American Midwest, places where the next town is hours away, this is the car that finally removes the last excuse not to go electric. And Xiaomi built its own range extender engine from scratch, tuned it for maximum efficiency, and stretched the service intervals so you visit the garage far less than you would with a conventional car. Range anxiety is not reduced here. It is eliminated. Everything you have heard so far might make you think this is a gentle, comfort-first cruiser. It is not. Twin motors deliver 310 kilowatts to all 4 wheels. 0 to 100 in 5.9 seconds. In a full-size 7-seater, 5-level air suspension with continuously variable dampers. A turning circle of under 6 meters, which is absurd for something this large. Braking from 100 in under 39 meters. 10 times in a row, without fading. And then there is the test that will stop you mid-scroll. Xiaomi loaded this car with 7 people, took it to 160 kilometers per hour, and blew out both left side tires at once. The SkyNomad held its line, dead straight. No swerve, no panic. Most cars would have ended up in the barrier. This one simply carried on, and the body underneath is just as serious. Xiaomi wrapped the whole cabin in an armor cage, 2.5 meters of ultra-high-strength steel from the front pillar to the rear, 12 airbags, including a side curtain over 3 meters long that shields all 3 rows. 9 crash sensors placed to fire airbags at exactly the right moment. Doors that still open after a heavy impact because the locks carry their own backup power. And in every crash test that matters, Xiaomi did not aim for the legal minimum. It set its own standard nearly 2.5 times tougher. Then there is the water. The SkyNomad wades through 750 millimeters. If it gets deeper, it floats. Air intake under the windscreen, pressure valve on top of the tailgate, 24 sealed components, submarine-grade waterproofing on the battery. In their test, the cabin stayed dry for 3 minutes. Enough time to get everyone out. They call it an emergency feature, not a party trick. But name one Western 7-seater that even tried. Here is the part that ties everything together. Xiaomi does not build for one market. It builds for the world. Its phones are already in your pocket in London, in Sydney, in Toronto, in Los Angeles. It is one of the largest technology companies on the planet. And it did not build that empire by thinking small. Its first sports saloon is already leaving China. Its first electric SUV is right behind it. And the SkyNomad sits on the same global platform. The same engineering obsession, the same ambition to go everywhere. When a company moves this fast, with this much precision, the rest of the world is not a question of if, it is a question of when. So take a clear look at what is coming. A full-size 7-seat SUV that transforms into a living room, drives 1,700 kilometers, floats in a flood, and carries a fridge, a cinema, and a concert hall inside it, built by a phone company. From nothing. In record time, the giants of Germany, Britain, and America have had decades and billions of pounds. Not one of them has built anything like this. That should worry them because the SkyNomad is only the beginning. Tell me in the comments, can you name a single Western brand that could match this today? I already know your answer. Subscribe, because what comes next is going to be even bigger.